Director Andy Muschietti said his DC Extended Universe film failed at the box office because, quote, a lot of people just don't care about the Flash as a character. Well, if you thought that, one, why would you want to direct it? Two, why would you guys spend $300 million on it if no one cares about the Flash as a character? Why would you put two of them in there? But ultimately, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of movies that have been successful.
Christopher Reeve, yeah.
There was a lot of things that were wrong with it.
Even Michael Shannon, General Zod, he didn't even show up to reprise his role. They CGI'd him entirely.
Wait, he didn't do anything? Are you sure?
So here we have, it's amazing that white people really are like, you invented the European language. You invented English, right? I'm speaking the language. I'm speaking the European language. I'm Chicano. I'm speaking the European language. And people think that because anybody can talk a lot, they already know everything, and they don't do the basic research to get everything. They had to correct them later on. So they make some good points that were almost on the nose, but not exactly. So let's look at this one. This is Zach, right? Richard Mayer. Once again, a director attempts to have a thoughtful discussion about why his movie underperformed, only for it to be twisted by the right-wing shithead clickbait media. The result, article titles like this, where neither claim in the headline is substantiated by the content. Ezra Miller's issues are one of several reasons listed in the interview that the article covers, and the fans are not trashed in any way. Gotta dunk on the wokies, right? Journalistic integrity be damned. So I'm not even sure what's going on. So they're taking these things out of context. So I don't know if this is the exact complete context, but here it is. Muschietti went on to say that behind closed doors, he found people who don't care about the Flash as much as other beloved DC icons like Batman or Superman, noting that's especially true in the women under and over 25 demographics. Demographics. He's looking at demographics. I find in private conversations that a lot of people just don't care about the Flash as a character, particularly the two female quadrants. So he's looking at quadrants when he's looking at demographics. All of that is just the wind going against the film I've learned. Now, does the average person care about what Ezra Miller does on his off time? I don't think so. I'll tell you what, there was a big turnabout for two movies that I've been to in the last 5 years, ever, okay? One was Spider-Man No Way Home, and the other was The Flash. And I remember there was trash talking, even like from Clownfish TV, even before, when they described Supergirl's outfit. Let me see if I can find it simply on here. I mean, you go back to Supergirl's outfit, right? I mean, you know what? She didn't look that bad. The problem wasn't like with Supergirl. It was the fact that she didn't have a lot of screen time, okay? It was... And seeing George Clooney at the end, and to be fair, Ryan Kendall did bring up George Clooney, and so it's not like we're completely different angles. Also, too, the director did praise Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League, and that movie still is the best superhero movie, even outranking the Avengers and whatever was done with Endgame. Okay, that was still Justice League is still the better movie from Zack Snyder, but you kind of get the feeling that movie's in continuity when Ezra Miller goes through time just before he goes to the past to see his other Flash, or what is it? Dark Flash throws him through the time loop, right? So he's in that little coliseum of time, and he sees Aquaman pointing to him. That was from Zack Snyder's Justice League. You see a little bit of Kal-El, of Henry Cavill CGI cameo, right? There's a tiny little cameo, but it's a Superman cameo at the beginning of the movie. But then there's Henry Cavill trying to fight the Justice League in both versions. But you see Jason Momoa pointing to Ezra Miller. That was from the Zack Snyder cut. So there's little things that he did to try to integrate that movie into this movie, even though Warner Brothers executives are like, no. But I don't know. He got away with it somehow, but you could barely see it if you don't blink. I know he did it. So it was very, very cool what he wanted to do. But it didn't, I mean, whatever he wanted to do didn't make much difference to James Gunn. Like James Gunn didn't care. He wanted to do his version, okay? And he's going to do his version. The real reason is because the original cut of Flash was struck down. Now, he could have gone on and say, I wanted to put out that movie with Supergirl at the end and Michael Keaton at the end. And there's a good video about this, of course. Who has this video? So yeah, so here you got the whole Batman, Ben Affleck Batman at the end. And he was supposed to talk to Ezra Miller through the TV, like, Flash, you you gotta help me, right? So it's the reverse of when Ezra Miller talks to Ben. It's the reverse of this shot here in Batman v Superman, which made absolute sense. So, yeah, which Crisis, which there's a live action CW chapters on YouTube. You can find that easily. But because of stuff like this, it was a real disappointment because now Zack Snyder's gone. People like Toby Emmerich were screwing things up. They're gone now. The administration's changed. AT&T is gone. You got Discovery. And the Discovery is you got James Gunn in charge. So none of this ever mattered. People knew that the vultures were swooping in. They knew it was there the vultures were swooping in. Yeah, so that shot where you see Kara saying you're ready to go, yeah, that was just gone. And I slammed my little desk in the theater when we saw George fucking Clooney. So I think the main reason is we weren't going to get Batgirl with Michael Keaton, and we weren't going to get the alternate Flash. And that, unfortunately, when you see those superheroes walking up, we're not getting that. So the real reason it just failed was because Zack Snyder left, and the fans knew that. Ezra Miller's shitty behavior, who knows? People don't pay attention, okay? I'm sure the girl that got choked out, she didn't watch the movie. And other people that arrested Ezra Miller, they didn't watch the movie either. Ezra Miller and the Flash are two different people. To be honest with you, Ezra Miller was a trooper. He showed up to do the CW show with Grant Gustin, the Flash. He did a cameo in Suicide Squad. He would have done a Super Bowl ad if you asked him to. Ezra Miller was not above doing that kind of a thing, being the Flash. He was not above that. It wasn't about, I got to get paid. He got to get paid, but he wasn't about like he didn't want to do it. He did do it. He just could be a shitty person in real life. Maybe he's doing better. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, we haven't heard much from him, so I don't know. So whether or not Zack Snyder's Justice League is in continuity to the director's point of view is debatable, but that's why it's just the fact that things were changing at DC and Warner Brothers. The fans knew it, and they were saying goodbye. Pure and simple.